Ernie Rospierski, as a history teacher at Stoneman Douglas High, is being hailed a hero today. He directed dozens of students to safety during last week's shooting. Rospierski, also known as Mr. R, was grazed by a bullet in a third-floor confrontation with a gunman. He has been attending funerals and vigils for some of his students over the weekend, while others demand action in response to these killings. Ernie Rospierski is with us from Parkland, Florida. Thank you very much, Mr. Rospierski, for joining us. We know this is painful and difficult, and it will continue this week. But you are being hailed a hero. You saved students at your own peril. There are reports that you were grazed on the cheek by a bullet, that you actually saw Nikolas Cruz reloading his gun. What did you see and what did you do when you realized that this was not a drill?
Well, when I saw it was not a drill, the first thing I was yelling at my kids was to get to cover. When I was in the middle of the hallway at the time, and I saw him point his gun at one of my former students. I saw him go down, and then I grabbed all my kids I could and pushed them into our doors have a little alcove in front of them, and I grabbed my kids and pushed them in there because it was the only cover I could find. And 4 or 5 shots later, it stopped. So that's when I poked my head around, saw he was either fidgeting with the gun, reloading or something, told my kids to run, and then we left as fast as we could.
You must be very proud of your kids today, Mr. Rospierski, because many people are saying this shooting feels different. These students are speaking out, and they are speaking out in ways that we have not heard before.
The students at Stoneman Douglas have been terrific. Not just the kids that you've had a chance to hear speak, but I personally witnessed one of my kids holding the door. His name is Peter Wang, holding the door, pushing kids through the door while bullets are coming at him. I don't know many adults who could have done that, let alone a 14-year-old boy. And then the response from our students who are still around and still able to talk, they're taking that opportunity. They're empowered, and they're angry.
Ernie, the president says he's going to have a listening tour in the wake of this. What would you want to tell him about your students and what you've experienced?
I'd want to say to the president that we have great kids. We have more great kids. We have 14 great kids who needed protection that we couldn't give them. I lost 3 kids in my class. I couldn't help them. I shouldn't have had to. And it's one of those things that, as a lifelong gun owner and a hunter, I'm not saying we should stop the Second Amendment. I'm not saying we should take guns away from people. I'm saying there's no point to somebody having an AR-15. And if somebody wants to argue with me on that, that's cool. If you want an AR-15, we'll go to the range. I get to shoot at you. I get to graze you with a bullet. I get to catch you with some fragments like I did. And then after that, if you still want to buy said weapon, cool. Then I'm going to have you talk to a psychologist, because that gun's not designed to do anything besides kill people. The round itself is unstable and tumbles. That's not normal. That's in contravention of the Geneva Convention, or at least a way around it. And people need to know that. And people need to realize, especially the president, because he has the most power in the free world, and we need to do something to save these kids and to protect our children. Not just my kids, but I have a 17-month-old son at home. I don't want to have to send him to school and have him face this stuff. I'm a 36-year-old man, and I'm having trouble dealing with it. I could only imagine what these kids are dealing with.
We all are. Ernie Rospierski, thank you for what you do as a teacher and leading so many students, and for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We're thinking of you.